The Galactic Empire believed fear was their greatest weapon. For thousands of years, every star system knew their name. Every race bowed. Every fleet retreated. No one ever entered Imperial space without permission. Until now. At the far edge of the Empire, a deep space watch station suddenly went dark. No alarms. No explosion. Just silence. At first, commanders thought it was a system error. Old equipment failed sometimes. Then a second station vanished. Then a third. Screens across the command center began flashing warning symbols. Not red alerts. Not attack signals. Unknown readings. Something was moving through Imperial space. Slowly. Calmly. Alone. No weapons fire was detected. No warp trail could be tracked. No engine type matched any known race. The object looked like a ship, but it moved wrong. Distance numbers kept changing. The ship appeared far away and close at the same time. Imperial sensors could not decide where it was. Senior officers laughed at first. No race would be stupid enough to test us, one said. But then the Empire's central AI spoke only two words. Uncertain threat. For the first time in centuries, Imperial commanders stopped smiling. Because the Empire had faced powerful enemies before. They had faced rebels. They had faced ancient machines. But they had never faced something they could not understand. And they did not yet know the truth. This ship did not belong to an ancient race. It belonged to humans. The unknown ship crossed the Imperial border without resistance. Not because it was allowed, but because nothing detected it in time. The Empire's outer defenses were designed to stop fleets, heavy ships, fast attackers, even stealth vessels. This ship was different. It did not hide. It did not rush. It simply moved forward. Inside the Grand Imperial Command Hall, hundreds of officers watched a massive holographic display. Star maps shifted slowly as data updated every second. Or tried to. The ship's position flickered. One moment it was near the border. The next moment it appeared closer to the core worlds. Then it jumped back again. Fix the range lock, an admiral ordered. Technicians worked fast, their fingers flying across control panels. Their faces showed confusion, not fear. Yet, we cannot lock it, sir, one officer said. The ship does not follow stable distance rules. The admiral frowned. Explain. The officer swallowed. Our sensors say the ship exists in one place, but also slightly out of phase. That word echoed in the hall. Out of phase. The Empire had seen phase weapons before. Experimental drives. Dangerous technology. But this was not a weapon. It was movement. Which race built it? The admiral asked. Silence. No one answered. The Empire had records of thousands of species. Ship designs. Energy signatures. Flight patterns. This ship matched none of them. It was large. Larger than most Imperial cruisers. Its hull was smooth, sharp, and pale in color. No glowing markings. No visible shields. It looked almost simple. That design is inefficient, one commander said with a short laugh. Whoever built it is behind us by centuries. Several officers nodded. The Empire had seen strange designs before. Primitive ships. Desperate scouts. They always ended the same way. Prepare a warning transmission, the admiral said. Standard border protocol. A signal was sent. This is Imperial space. Identify yourself immediately or withdraw. The ship did not reply. Seconds passed. Then minutes. The ship continued its slow movement. Not toward the capital. Not toward military zones. It moved toward an empty system. A dead system. No planets. No stations. No value. That makes no sense, the admiral muttered. If this is an attack, why choose that path? Before anyone could answer, another officer spoke. Sir, one of our patrol fleets just lost power. The room grew quiet. Explain, the admiral said sharply. They were not fired upon, the officer continued. No weapons impact. No explosions. Their systems just shut down. The fleet drifted helplessly in space. The unknown ship had passed near them. Not close enough for weapons. Not close enough for collision. Yet the fleet was dead in space. Could it be an energy pulse? A commander asked. No spike detected, came the reply. The admiral's fingers tightened. This ship is not attacking, he said slowly. It is testing us. That idea made several officers uncomfortable. Testing was something the Empire did to others, not something done to them. Send fighters, the admiral ordered. Standard intercept. No heavy weapons. A squadron launched within minutes. Fast, agile, deadly. They approached the unknown ship in formation. As they closed the distance, their pilots began reporting strange readings. Control, my instruments are lagging. My navigation keeps resetting. I'm losing orientation. Then the fighters vanished from the map. Not destroyed. Gone. Moments later, they reappeared. Far behind the unknown ship. All pilots were alive. All systems were restored. But their faces were pale. It moved us, one pilot said over open comms. It didn't touch us. It just moved us. The command hall erupted in noise. That's impossible. No mass displacement weapon can do that. The admiral raised a hand for silence. His voice was calm, but his eyes were not. This ship could have destroyed those fighters, he said. It chose not to. He turned to the central AI. Probability of hostile intent? The AI paused longer than usual. Unknown, it finally replied. Behavior does not match known attack patterns. The admiral stared at the glowing image of the ship. For the first time, doubt crept into his thoughts. The Empire ruled through strength, through fear. But fear only worked when the enemy understood you. This ship did not fear the Empire. It did not rush. It did not threaten. It did not explain. It simply arrived. And somewhere deep in Imperial space, something ancient stirred. Because this was not an invasion. This was an introduction. The Grand Imperial Command Hall slowly returned to order. Officers spoke in low voices. Screens replayed sensor data again and again. The unknown ship remained on display, calm and unmoving. Some commanders were uneasy. Others were annoyed. This is nothing, Admiral Korth said, leaning back in his chair. A single ship cannot threaten an empire. A few officers nodded quickly. The fighters were not destroyed, another commander added. That proves the ship is weak or cautious. Laughter spread across one side of the hall. Yes, someone said. A scared scout. Probably from a minor race. The admiral allowed a thin smile. For centuries, he said, we have crushed every challenge. No species rises without our approval. He stood and pointed at the hologram. This ship will learn its place. Orders were sent. A larger fleet was prepared. Cruisers. Heavy weapons. Shield breakers. Not to destroy the ship, but to show power. The Empire believed fear must be taught early. The fleet jumped into position ahead of the unknown ship. Dozens of massive warships formed a wall of metal and firepower. This is your final warning, the admiral transmitted. Stop immediately or be destroyed. The unknown ship finally reacted. Not with words. It changed direction. Slowly. Not away from the fleet. Toward it. Some officers laughed again. It's charging us, one said. How brave. The fleet-powered weapons. Target locks turned green across multiple screens. Then something strange happened. The unknown ship did not speed up. Instead, space around it began to bend. Not violently. Not brightly. Just enough to notice. Distance markers shifted. Weapon targeting struggled to stay fixed. Target lock unstable, a technician reported. Recalibrate, the admiral snapped. Before the order could be repeated, the ship passed through the fleet. Not around. Through. For one heartbeat, it vanished. Then it appeared on the other side. Every Imperial ship froze. Weapons offline. Shields inactive. Engines silent. No damage. No explosions. Just silence. The laughter was gone. Report. the Admiral demanded. No one answered at first. Then a quiet voice spoke. All ships, disabled, sir. We are adrift. The Admiral's face went pale. That's impossible, he whispered. The unknown ship stopped at a safe distance. It turned slowly, as if observing the helpless fleet. Still no weapons fired. Still no message sent. Minutes passed. Then, one by one, Imperial systems came back online. Engines restarted. Shields rose. Weapons charged. The ship allowed it. It had always allowed it. That was when the Empire understood something terrifying. The ship was not fighting. It was demonstrating. A junior officer finally spoke, voice shaking. Sir, it could have destroyed us. The Admiral said nothing. His eyes remained fixed on the ship. For the first time in his long career, he felt something unfamiliar. Not anger. Not pride. Fear. The central AI broke the silence. Analysis complete, it said. Technology level exceeds Imperial standard. The hall went silent. By how much? The Admiral asked. Another pause. Unable to calculate, the AI replied. Data insufficient. The unknown ship began to move again. Still calm. Still alone. But now, no one laughed. Because the Empire had just learned a painful truth. This ship did not come to challenge them. It came to show them how small they were. And the worst part? The Empire still did not know who built it. The Imperial fleet slowly pulled back. Not because it was ordered. Because no one knew what else to do. The unknown ship remained behind them, drifting quietly, as if the encounter had already ended. But inside the Grand Imperial Command Hall, panic had begun to spread. Officers spoke faster now. Reports overlapped. Data tables refreshed again and again. Nothing made sense. That ship passed through solid formations, one scientist said. No known drive system allows that. Another shook his head. It did not tear space. It did not open a gate. It simply ignored physical limits. The Admiral listened in silence. The Empire was built on rules. Rules of physics. Rules of war. Rules that said power could be measured. This ship followed none of them. Track its energy source, the Admiral ordered. We cannot, a technician replied. There is no clear output. It's like the ship is recycling reality around it. That sentence caused several officers to stop breathing for a moment. Recycling reality was not a concept taught in Imperial academies. The unknown ship entered the dead system. Empty space. Cold stars. Nothing worth protecting. Imperial scouts followed at a safe distance. Then the ship stopped. It did nothing for several minutes. Some officers began to relax. Maybe it's damaged, someone suggested. That hope lasted only seconds. Space around the ship folded inward. Not violently. Cleanly. Like paper being bent without tearing. Sensors screamed. Readings jumped off every known scale. Sir, a scientist said quietly, the ship is rewriting local physics. The Admiral turned slowly. Explain, he said. The scientist swallowed. It is changing how mass and distance behave. Just inside a controlled zone. A display zoomed in. Asteroids near the ship began to move. Not pulled. Not pushed. They obeyed new rules. Heavy rocks floated like dust. Small particles stayed perfectly still. Gravity had been rearranged. This is impossible, a commander whispered. No, the scientist replied. It's intentional. Then the ship released something. Not a weapon. A structure. Metal unfolded from the ship's hull, forming a massive frame in space. The Empire watched as the frame locked into place. Energy flowed through it. A field appeared. Inside that field, time slowed. Imperial sensors recorded it clearly. Signals entered the zone and returned delayed. Missiles fired into it lost speed, then stopped completely. The laws inside that area are different, the AI confirmed. Cause and effect are altered. The Admiral felt his throat tighten. This was not technology meant for battle. This was technology meant to control space itself. The ship shut the field down. Everything returned to normal. No damage. No explosion. Just proof. Then, at last, the ship sent a message. Not words. Data. Imperial systems struggled to read it. When it finally translated, the hall fell silent. The message contained simple diagrams, energy loops, spatial layers, dimensional stability markers. It was not a threat. It was a lesson. They're showing us how they do it, a commander said in disbelief. The admiral understood something then. Only the powerful teach their enemies. Only the confident explain. This is not an attack, he said quietly. This is a warning. The AI interrupted. New data identified, it announced. Ship origin classified. The admiral looked up. Classified by whom? He asked. Another pause. By the ship itself. The name appeared on the central display. Origin. Human. Silence crushed the room. Humans, someone repeated. That minor species from the outer sectors? They were explorers, another said. Traders. Weak. Divided. The admiral stared at the word. Human. So, he said slowly, while we ruled the galaxy, they were learning, the scientist finished. The human ship powered down its systems. It waited, as if expecting a response. And for the first time in its long history, the Galactic Empire did not know what to say, because the rules they lived by were broken, and the ones who broke them were human. The human ship waited. It did not move. It did not raise shields. It did not power weapons. It simply stayed where it was, silent and calm, inside the empty system. Inside the Grand Imperial Command Hall, no one spoke. The word human still glowed on the central display. Many officers had heard of humans. A young species. Explorers. Merchants. Never conquerors. They were not supposed to be this. This must be a mistake, a commander said. Humans do not have this level of technology. The scientist shook his head. The data is clear. The ship systems are human-built. The admiral closed his eyes for a brief moment. The Empire had ignored humans for centuries. They were not considered a threat. They were barely considered at all. Open a communication channel, the admiral ordered. If this ship can hear us, he continued, it is time we hear them. The channel opened. Static filled the hall at first. Then a voice spoke. Clear. Unhurried. This is human vessel Wayfarer, the voice said. You have entered a controlled demonstration zone. The officers froze. It was not a demand. Not a warning. It sounded like a simple fact. The admiral stepped forward. This is Imperial space, he said. You crossed our border without permission. There was a pause. Then the human voice replied. We are aware. That was all. No apology. No excuse. The admiral felt a chill. State your purpose, he said. Another pause. Then the answer came. To observe. Confusion spread through the hall. Observe what? The admiral asked. Your response, the human said. Some officers bristled. You disabled Imperial fleets, the admiral said. That is an act of aggression. The human voice remained calm. No ships were harmed, it replied. No lives were lost. Your fleets are fully functional. That was true, and that made it worse. Why come here at all? The admiral asked. The human answered without delay. Because your expansion is nearing human space. Silence followed. The Empire had been growing steadily, absorbing systems, claiming resources. They had not noticed how close they were to human borders. You could have sent a message, the admiral said. Yes, the human replied. But messages are ignored. The words hit harder than any weapon. The human continued. This demonstration was meant to be seen, not feared. Several officers exchanged uneasy looks. If you did not come to fight, the admiral said, what do you want? Another pause. Then the human spoke words the Empire never expected. Respect. Not tribute. Not territory. Not surrender. Respect. The admiral stared at the display. You expect us to respect humans? He asked. Yes, the voice replied. As equals. The command hall was silent. For thousands of years, the Empire had only known subjects and enemies. Equality was a foreign concept. The human voice spoke again. We do not seek war, it said. But we will not be ruled. A display appeared beside the ship's image. It showed star maps. Human space. Vast. Hidden. Carefully masked. The Empire had never seen it. You never detected us, the human said. We intended it that way. The Admiral understood the meaning. Humans had been invisible by choice. Watching. Learning. Preparing. If we refuse, the Admiral asked quietly. The human ship did not change position. We will continue to exist, the voice said. Uninterrupted. The message ended. The channel closed. The human ship remained motionless. Inside the command hall, no one breathed. The Empire had faced threats before, but never one that spoke so calmly. Never one that asked for respect instead of fear. And deep down, every officer understood the truth. The humans were not asking. They were informing. The command hall stayed silent long after the human message ended. Respect. That single word echoed in the minds of every Imperial officer. Some felt anger. Others felt shame. Most felt fear. The Admiral broke the silence. Humans ask for equality, he said. That alone is an insult. Several commanders nodded. No young species speaks to the Empire like that, one said. They must be taught a lesson. The scientists looked uneasy, but they stayed quiet. Power spoke louder than caution in Imperial space. A private council was formed. Only the highest-ranking leaders were allowed inside. We cannot allow this to spread, one counselor said. If other races learn humans can stand against us, rebellion will follow. The Admiral agreed. The human ship is alone, he said. We strike fast and in secret. No witnesses. It was decided. A covert attack. Not a fleet. Not an open battle. A weapon the Empire never admitted to using. The Shadow Lances. Weapons designed to collapse space in a narrow line. No explosion. No warning. Once fired, nothing survived. The human ship still waited in the dead system. Silent. As if it already knew. The weapon platforms were moved into position, far beyond normal detection range. Target locked, an officer reported. The Admiral raised his hand. Fire. Space twisted. A thin, dark line cut through the stars. It struck the human ship. For a moment, nothing happened. Several commanders smiled. Then the data came in. No structural damage, a technician said slowly. The ship is absorbing the distortion. Absorbing it. That was not possible. The human ship responded. Not with weapons. With movement. It shifted slightly. The shadow lance beam bent. Not away. Back. The weapon turned on itself. The Imperial platform vanished in silence. Gone. No debris. No energy spike. Just empty space. The command hall erupted in panic. Shut it down. We can't. Before orders could be given, human signals flooded Imperial systems. Not attacks. Glux. Imperial weapons powered down across 3 sectors. War fleets lost control. Defense grids went blind. This was anticipated, the AI said. Human countermeasures were active before the strike. The Admiral's hands trembled. They knew, he whispered. The human ship finally moved closer. Not aggressively. Deliberately. A new message arrived. We observed your decision, the human voice said. This response was expected. The Admiral felt his chest tighten. You said you did not want war, he said bitterly. We do not, the human replied. But we prepare for it. A new image appeared. Hundreds of human ships, hidden in folds of space, waiting. This vessel is not alone, the human continued. It never was. The Empire's mistake was clear now. They had attacked the one race that planned for everything. The human ship turned away. It did not finish the Empire. It did not threaten. It simply left them with the truth. They had failed their test. and the galaxy would soon know it. News traveled fast across the empire. Too fast to control. Despite all efforts, reports leaked. Fleets disabled without battle. Weapons turned back on themselves. A single human ship stopping an imperial strike. Other species heard the whispers. For the first time in centuries, the empire was not feared. It was questioned. Inside the Grand Imperial Command Hall, the mood was heavy. No one argued now. No one laughed. The admiral stood before the council. "Our mistake is done," he said. "We underestimated humans." The word felt strange in his mouth. Underestimated. The empire had never used that word about anyone. "We cannot hide this," a counselor said. "The galaxy already knows something is wrong." The central AI confirmed it. "Rebellion probability rising," it said. "Multiple systems delaying tribute." Fear was spreading. Not fear of the empire. Fear of humans. The admiral clenched his fists. "What do we know about them?" he asked. The scientists stepped forward. "They are patient," one said. "They avoid conflict until forced." "They do not conquer quickly," another added. "They observe. They prepare." The admiral listened. "These humans did not win by strength," he said slowly. "They won by control." A new report arrived. Human fleets had been detected. Not attacking. Watching. Positioned near key routes. Silent. "They are not invading," the admiral realized. "They are containing us." That truth hit harder than defeat. The empire, once unstoppable, was now being held in place. By choice. By human choice. The council faced a decision. Fight openly. Or accept reality. "We still have numbers," one counselor argued. "We can overwhelm them." The admiral shook his head. "They already see every move we make." The human ship Wayfarer sent one final update. Not a threat. A status report. Human fleets would remain on standby. No borders crossed. No attacks launched. As long as the empire did the same. "They are giving us peace," a commander whispered. "On their terms." The admiral closed his eyes. Fear filled the room. But it was not chaos. It was clear. Focused. Fear had a name now. Humanity. And the empire understood something painful. This was not the end. It was the beginning of a new order. One where power was measured not by fear given, but by fear earned. The empire did not strike again. Days passed. Then weeks. Human fleets remained at the edges of known space, silent and unmoving. They did not advance. They did not retreat. They watched. Across the galaxy, other species noticed. Trade routes shifted. Imperial patrols pulled back. Old fears began to fade. For the first time, the empire felt small. Inside the Grand Imperial Command Hall, the admiral stood alone before the star map. Systems once marked in imperial red now remained untouched. The empire still existed, but it no longer ruled through fear. A final transmission arrived from the human vessel Wayfarer. The admiral ordered it displayed across all imperial channels. The human voice spoke one last time. "We did not come to conquer," it said. "We came to be recognized." Images followed. Human worlds. Cities built with care. Fleets designed for defense, not domination. "We learn from watching you," the voice continued. "Your strength. Your mistakes." The message paused. "When you expanded, you used fear," it said. "When we expanded, we used patience." The admiral listened in silence. "You believed power meant control," the human said. "We believe power means restraint." The final words were simple. "Do not test us again." The transmission ended. The human fleets began to withdraw. Not in haste. Not in victory. They faded back into hidden space, just as quietly as they had arrived. The galaxy changed that day. The empire still ruled many systems. But now it ruled carefully. Every order was measured. Every expansion questioned. Because somewhere beyond their maps, humanity watched. Not as enemies. Not as servants. But as equals. And every empire in the galaxy learned the same lesson. Humans did not seek war, but if forced, they would end it.